Now we're going to continue with the second half of our commercial. This is where we left off. We adjusted the audio of the following scenes: the office scene, the party scenes, and the opening scene. Now we're going to work with the scene where she wakes up and finally introduce the product. So let's analyze these sound effects that we have and begin with the first one. So this is the sound of the bird. So if you take a look at the video, you can see that the window is on her left side. And I need to first of all make it sound like it's coming from the outside. And secondly, have it show up from the left side of our speaker. Go to the Essential Sound panel. Make distant, outside reverb. Now let's go to Effect Controls and push this towards the left speaker. Now we want to reduce the volume so it's less loud. So that's the bird audio. I'm going to have it play a little after the T video shows up. Then hit Command H, Control H on Windows to just fade out the end. So that's our first sound effect in the second half. The second sound effect is for breathing. So it's really long breaths, and we're trying to make it look like she had a nightmare and she's just breathing. Choose from the left because this is where her head is. And I just reduced the volume. Play this together with the bird. Again, I'm going to cut it here a little after the first video finishes, so it's a special cut. Command H and fade out the end. I would have to cut my bird audio. And for the second one, we're going to head to the channel and make this come from the front. So that would be like 12 decibels for left, 12 decibels for right. And this way we change the direction of the sound from left to front. Our next audio is, I think, like a jungle audio. Not sure. So it's actually the heartbeat. Normally when we get nightmares, we get fast heartbeat. Once again, we need to go to the Essential Sound panel and make it distant. Let's go for like light reverb. Increase the volume, test it out with the other sound effects. The bird audio is a little too loud. So I'm going to grab the first bit and make it even lower. Then cut it right here and get rid of the rest. Because let's say in this scene, she had some time to wake up, think about her week, and she's now a little better. The next audio is like the blankets moving around. I'm going to have this play for the second video. Let's assume she's moving her legs, and that is causing some extra sound. Cut it right here. Make it come from the right side. Effect Controls. Let's first add a preset from the right and just lower the volume. fade out the end, Command Edge. Then we have the coffee sound. It's all the way in the back. Just gotta bring it closer and match it with the video. Once again, make this distant because it's not exactly close to the camera. Light reverb. There we go. Finally, we have some nature sounds that is going to play when the subject is enjoying her tea. But we need to 1. Make it come from the outside, and 2. Have it play from the right side of the speaker. Preset from outside. It's not exactly all the way to the right, but an almost front side of the speaker. Let's try 5 for left, 10 for right. Then we can just cut it here and fade the audio. Extend the audio a little bit before the video. Alright, we have all of our sound effects. The final one is our transition audio. We tried this effect a few lessons ago where we have a crash sound effect. In my case, it's a drum, but you're just looking for this type of curve, especially one that has like a really long fade. Right click and change the speed to like maybe 70%, and reverse the speed. Forgot to do that. Maintain audio pitch. Now it's going to go from the other side. Play this back. There we go. So you want to match the end with the first video. Just make sure that there isn't a break here. So just zoom right in and make sure there isn't any pause. So we get something like this. You could stretch it out so it begins from here, but I'm okay with this. Just simply, if you want to do that, right click, speed and duration, and maybe go from 70% to like 60. Just before we continue, make sure that you can hear the crash among all of the party noise. So grab it right here, essential sound. So you can see that everything is too loud and we can barely hear what's happening. So what we want to do is to kind of add a fade at the end of all of these audios so that the attention goes to this transition audio. Grab all of your sound effects and the music. And I'm just going to grab exponential fade right here, put it on the music and the sound effects. Then extend the length of these transitions so that it's slowly fading out as the crash audio is slowly fading in. I'm going to keep this at the beginning. and reduce the transition. And between the two bird audios, you need to add a crossfade. Grab them both, delete the first bit, and just put one in the middle. So this is how my audios look so far. My timeline looks like this. Let's have a look from the start, and if it's good, we can continue on to the next part. Around here, we're going to put our final message, so that's why it's a bit too long. We can fade the end of our video by selecting it, Command D, Control D, and we had like a problem here. So here, instead of constant power, we need to grab exponential fade. Put it right here. And I think I'm going to extend the audio so that it plays on this scene too. Similarly, I'm going to grab the party noises, extend it a little here towards the right, extend it outwards later, and simply add a fade. Alright, so we're done with the music and the sound effects. Everything's looking good. So one thing that I want to do is when she's about to wake up and we have this crash audio, I want to build tension. And we learned in an older lesson that when you want to make tension, you should have faster cuts. So that's what we're going to do right here, that we have the crash audio. Going to make really fast cuts between this video and the one next to it. So grab your razor tool, C on your keyboard, and just make cuts in this video. The first one being rather long, second one being shorter, and just keep making it shorter until you reach the end. You want something like this. And if you ever wanted to undo a cut, you can just grab your selection tool, click on that cut, hit delete, and now you can make a fresh one. I think I would go with something like this. Repeat this pattern onto the second video. I'm going to do the same thing here, cut this guy up. First begin with a long cut, then make the cuts smaller and shorter. So now we're going to replace the blocks in one video with the other blocks. For example, here we have this scene. Then I'm just going to grab all of these guys, pull them up, and bring the other bit forward. I'm going to make it a little longer. All right. Cut this. Get my second bit here. Let me bring this down. My second cut, bring it right here. Then the next one, we're kind of like sandwiching these and getting faster as we reach that crash. And keep the really fast part for when we hear the crash. So like right here, it needs to get really fast. And before that, it could be a little bit mellow. So you can just stretch these. All right, let me just mark out the part where the crash gets really intense. Hit M on your keyboard. And I'm just gonna have the cuts ready. So from here until here, we can have this video. Then suddenly cut into the champagne clip. Go back to this. Pull these guys up to make some space. And once you run out of those cuts from your first video, you can actually duplicate these clips because it's going to be really fast and the context of that video will not be that important. So just duplicate it, cut it into little chunks, and proceed with your flash effect. Each time becoming shorter, and just keep doing this until you reach the end of the crash. So I'm going to pull these guys since I have this large chunk. See exactly where this starts. Okay, so grab everything from your first cut, pull it towards the right until you reach the end. And over here, I can just stretch the duration of this video. We can get rid of these. And now this is what we have. There we go. So that's really going to aid the tension that we have. And also the fact that she was having a nightmare of all those parties. Then select some of the medium shots, not the longer ones. Right click, speed duration, reverse them. And do this with the other video. Just 2 of them. You don't have to do this with every cut. This is just to make it look even more exciting and crazy. Let's play this back. So right here where we have a smaller chunk, I'm going to reverse it, unreverse, reverse, unreverse. So it means that, let me just change the color. Let's make this mango. Grab your razor tool, cut them into 4 pieces. Grab the first, third, then just reverse the speed. So we're going to get something like this. So it has like a glitch effect, and that can show that things are not as smooth as they appear to be. So I have all of my cuts here. My sound effects are looking good. I got all of my fades, surround reverbs, and we're pretty much ready to go. In the next lesson, we're going to work with the color grading of this video and then finally put in some text, which can introduce our imaginary product. So I will see you guys in the next lesson.